Good morning, Rabbi Isai. Good morning, everybody.
Can they hear you?
Could you hear? Everybody could hear?
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, Mr. Halpern, Shalom Aleichem. How many people do we have right now?
63.
63. Yesterday we were in the high 90s. We were 3 away from...
Wait for a second, okay?
Okay, we're going to unmute everybody.
Okay.
Okay, it works.
Ali, you have a new listener from Flatbush. Mayor from Flatbush.
What's his name?
Meir Stark.
Meir Stark from Flatbush. Shalom Aleichem, Reb Meir. So it's starting to hit home for me at least. Yeah.
One more thing. We ask everybody
Yeah.
to mute their microphones
Yeah.
and unmute them when they want to
Yeah,
talk.
but it didn't really work.
I know, but okay, for certain people we're going to do that. Like, no, I'm
Okay, so Gary's asking if everybody can mute their microphones, and then when you want to speak, you unmute it. But please try to mute your microphones. Okay.
Going to control it.
Why don't you mute everybody first?
We are. But it's better like this.
We are.
So, Rabbi Isai, today is Daf Chof Aleph. And I heard some very not good news for me personally, for Klal Yisrael as a whole. Rabbi Yisrael Pluchak, the Rosh Yeshiva of Derech Chaim, was nifter from the coronavirus. I knew him very well. I was great friends with his son in Flatbush, Rabbi Moshe Pluchak, who's a big Rav today in New York. So, Baruch Dayan Emes. Something even closer than that to me is Reb Dan Segal. Reb Dan Segal, many of you know Reb Dan Segal is tremendous tzaddik, a chassid. He's in the ICU because of corona. When it's a long story, but my parents sent me to high school when I was 10 and a half years old. Crazy story, not going to go into it. But I was away from home and I was very homesick, and Reb Dan Segal would come visit me personally every week, because he would travel into Tifrach, that's where I learned. I was in the Yeshiva Ktana there. He would come and say a shmooze in Yeshiva G'dayla, so he'd come visit me and shmooze with me for, 20 minutes every single week. So I was very close to him for years. My father's very close to him, so it's hitting home. Rabbi Isai, it's not good. And then I heard news that there's a Rav in Manchester, Daf Stefansky, Elazar ben Toiva, Rufur Shlema, also. What?
Are you with the microphone?
I am with a microphone.
Wait 1 second.
YouTube is not that good.
Hold on 1 second.
What are you on? That's YouTube or Zoom? Zoom. Quality's not so good. Anyway. And his wife, Rachel Bas Chana, Yoel Bergman asked me to add Reuven Shmuel ben Chayesara. And all the Chaylim should have a refuah shleima. Zev ben Edel, I think it is. It's a Rav in Farakwe in the 5 towns. A lot of people need a refuah shleima. We'll start with some emails real quickly. This is subject, the nephew from Ezra, Tausun. Hi Raveli, Shekayach Gadol. In giving over the shir, like the whole olam is sitting right near you. Here I am in America, I'm bored, don't know what to do all day. I wait to listen to the shir because it makes me feel like I'm sitting in the shir like the few days I was zeicha to listen to it live. In other words, this is the nephew, behei idea of Joey Levy. We all know Joey Levy. He's a great friend of the shir. When he was here in Eretz Yisrael, he came every single day with a taxi from Yerushalayim, and he schlepped his poor nephews with him. So he's saying that he was there, and this is what he does. He's bored all day and he listens to the shir once in a while. I think now I must give a big shkach to my uncle for putting shampoo on my head at 5:45 a.m. in the morning so he can make it to the RBS in time for shir. Fine. Now that he's in America, he can't miss a day of shir. P.S. The shir in America is at 12:15, so hopefully there'll be more people. Hold on, we got a phone call. Hello?
I'm just telling you that nobody heard anything until you started speaking about Joey Levy.
Okay, so we'll go back. And we can't really go back because it's on YouTube. I'll say B'Kitzer Gadol. Harav Hagoyin Rav Yisrael Pluchak, the Rosh Yeshiva of Derech Chaim, was nifter from corona yesterday. And I knew him well. He lived in my neighborhood in Kensington, and I was great friends with his son, Reb Moshe Pluchak, who's a chashiv Rav today. Reb Dan Segal, the famous chassid, who was very, very close to my family, and he used to come visit me when I was in high school. I was only 10 and a half years old. It's a story by itself, I said. We're not going to go into it, but I was very homesick, and he would come visit me once a week and schmooze with me for at least like 20 minutes a week. He's in the ICU as well. It's hitting home, Rabbi say. It's hitting home. I'm sure everybody has somebody that they know. It's starting to make a huge impact on Klal Yisrael, and we have to do tshuva. We have to daven. All right. So Joey Levy's nephew says that he thanks his uncle for putting shampoo on his head at 5:45 a.m. and schlepping him to RBS every morning while Joey Levy was here. I don't know. Oh yeah, the nephew. Here he is. Here he is. He's the nephew. He's lowering. He's coming out of the screen. Here's somebody else. I got a forwarded message. I guess he wants to write me personally, but it says here like this. I'd like perhaps to write at Rebelli. I decided to start the daf and went searching on YouTube for the appropriate shir. It was one of the first ones that came up, and I was hooked from the first daf of brachas. I've not learned the daf of Gemara in many decades. He's not learned daf Gemara in many decades. And he's not missed one since the beginning of the cycle. Hope you and your family are safe and well. I was so happy to be able to sponsor a day of learning last Erev Shabbos for my father's 40th yahrzeit. Listen to this, Rabbi say. I was not able to say Kaddish for the first time since his passing. On his yahrzeit due to the restrictions. Thanks so much for reaching out. I try to grab a nap after getting home from work. He's a retina surgeon and still have work every day. Waking up after Chatzos to learn on Zoom or on YouTube. Have a Chodesh Tov. Unbelievable. All right, there's more emails, but let's go. Let's jump into the learning. It should be a schus for everybody, our learning. Rabbi Isai, I'm not sure. Tell me, are we learning more Torah now that we're home and we have more time off of work? Because, as we all know, the Chavetz Chaim talks about it, we have an excuse to go to work. We're allowed to go to work to make a parnasa. And when we learn the little time that we have to learn, HaKadosh Baruch Hu's machshav as if we learned the whole day. Because we were forced to go work. So now, let's make sure that when we have time, we spend it wisely. Not just on WhatsApps and whatever. Chas v'sholom, we shouldn't undo all that work that we did all these years and make it for naught. Zok the Gemara. We're holding the last words. I made a mistake yesterday. We should have just finished up the daf, but I was so worried about the halacha that you know how to go into the next day's daf that we made a little bit of mistake. But we'll go back. Omar Rebbe, last line. Omar Rami Baravin. Itron. Psulta de Zifta. It's the residue of Zephes. In other words, says Rashi, you heat it up, you heat this pitch that comes out of a tree, you heat it up until you get Idron. Shava, how do you get wax? Psulta de Duvsha. It's the residue of honey. Okay. What's the difference to us? In other words, if a person tells somebody, he says, listen, I want to buy Itron, or I want to buy Shava, you can't just sell them whatever you want. It has to be the residue of honey. Halacha l'maisa for mekach u'memkar. Tanu Rabbana. Daf Chaf Aleph Amud Aleph. Kol elu shamru madlikin ben b'Shabbos. We had a whole list of wicks that you cannot use on Shabbos. Avaloisim medura. You can make a large flame. Why? Because I'm not concerned that you're going to fix the wick. There's no wick. There are hundreds of wicks. So if it doesn't light correctly, it'll light up. Here's your water, Gary. You don't have to go anywhere. Bein lischamim kenegda, bein lishtamish la'oira. So you could use it for light and you can use it for heat. The only issur is to use it for a single wick for a candle. What are we, frozen on Zoom? Hashem Yirachem. Apologize, the YouTube people. We're frozen on Zoom.
Yeah, everyone's frozen.
Everybody's frozen. What are we going to do? We're frozen, Rabbi Isai. It's a Musar Haskell. Oh, they're back.
Zoom today.
All you guys, I see Hulk Hogan over there. Were all you guys frozen for like 30 seconds?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, but they're back. They're alive. Alive and well. Zoom, listen, it doesn't have the technology like YouTube. But it has the Maila.
What's going on now? It's crazy.
Fine. Bein l'shtamish lo bein al gabi karka, bein al gabi kiro. It doesn't matter if you put this bonfire on the ground or you put it in your oven like we had yesterday, the kiro, the box. The only isser is to make a single wick that you might come to fix. What does shemikik mean? We have three opinions here. If I don't know what it is, I ask the people coming in from other countries and I say, do you know what kick is? Yes, there's a bird called kick. And I'm not allowed to make oil for Shabbos from it. It's inferior oil. Cottonseed oil. I don't know, I never tried it. They sell it in the store. Pashkes, Liebers, they all have cottonseed oil. I guess it's not the best flame. What's kick? Lashon of kikoyon. Now what? I myself saw this. It's similar to this. I don't know how to pronounce it. Racinus, something like that. It looks beautiful. You see this large leaf over here? Yoina Hanavi, when he was trying to take shelter from the sun, he used something similar to this. It grows off the ponds, off the moisture. Valpum chanvasa madlin yasei. They put it in the storefronts. You know our overhangs that we have in front of the stores. They also did in those days. They had a kikayin diyaina. And from the kernels that has little seeds, they make oil. And in Eretz Yisrael, where it's really hot, the sick needed to take shelter from the sun. They would use these leaves. So we have three sheets. This is what kick is. Do not make oil from the kernels. It's inferior oil. Now, all these wicks that we said that you can't use on Shabbos, why is it because the flame flickers? You know those on Hanukkah sometimes we light and it starts going like this? No good. What happens when it flickers? You're going to try to fix it. Shema Yata, that's the big problem. And all these oils, like cottonseed oil and kick oil, it doesn't come up the wick well. And again, you're going to start messing with it. You're going to start tilting it and moving it on Shabbos, and therefore it's asur. Abai asks Rabbi, what if I add kosher oil? Let's say I take olive oil and add it to the mix. Now everything's going to be fine. It's going to come up the wick. Barak Shechter! Oh! What a simcha. That gives me shtar kana. Yishkoyach Barak. Everybody, they're all smiling here. Everybody knows why. The question is, if I add a little olive oil, now it's going to light well. What's the problem? Perhaps one day I'll forget to use the olive oil and I'll use the kikayin diyoina oil, and that's not good. Maybe I have to make some sort of gzeira. Omar lei, hey madlikin. No, you cannot do so. This is one of my favorite sayings in Shas. It's brought down many times, and usually I couldn't find it. It's hard to search for this, but if my memory serves me correctly, and it usually doesn't, it's usually Abaya. My timer. What's the reason? Lefisha ein madlikin, because I said so. I asked, Amalei ein madlikin. My timer. Lefisha ein madlikin, because you don't. So Rashi says because it's a gzeira. That's exactly the reason. The reason is because I'm worried that if with oil it's okay, you might come to forget the olive oil and you'll just do straight kick oil. You'll do whatever these other oils are, cottonseed oil, or all the other oils in the Mishnah. So don't try to be a chacham and add a little bit of kosher oil and then you have a good mixture, because tomorrow you're going to forget to add the kosher and you're going to be left with the original ingredient. So let me ask you a question. It says, "Mefurish karach davar shemadlikin boy al gabi davar shemadlikin boy." I still hear it. There's like some sort
No,
of.
it's on purpose. I'm gonna
So you have to have one of the. You're a DJ. You have to have the thing, the headphones.
I just want to make sure the sound's good, but it wasn't us. The whole thing, freezing and the sound wasn't us.
Wasn't us. Okay, it was the whole system. Now, the halacha is if you take a wick that's usher to use, you take, I don't know, a lechesh, part of a cedar, and you put it together with a nice cotton. What's the halacha? Karach dovish madlikin boy, agabi dovish ein madlikin boy, ein madlikin boy. Rabbi Shimon Gamliel, so the Tanakam says you're not allowed to. Rabbi Shimon Gamliel, shel beis abba hayu karchem psilo al gabi egoiz madlikin. You take a nut. Now a nut obviously is something that you cannot use as a wick. You use it as a wick together with the cedar, with cotton. It's okay. So you can take something that's not good, put it together with something that's good, and it works. How come by us, we're saying that you cannot take olive oil, put it together with kick oil? It's good and bad, and we're saying it's not good. When it comes to wicks, good and bad works. You asked me a great kasha from Shimon Gamliel. In that exact brisa, it starts off saying you're not allowed to do it. Shimon Gamliel says it's okay. So you're proving me from one out of the two, but you could also go with the Tanakama, and he's proof to you that you're not allowed to use bad and good. Says the Gemara, no. There's a concept called Maisarav. When I see something, you could have a Tana that says, look, the halacha is like this. But maybe it's not really the halacha. When somebody physically goes ahead and does it, he uses the halacha, that's a different story. You know the famous sefer here. This is what it's called. Maisarav. That's the sefer of the Menagim of the Vilna Gaon. It's like, I saw the Vilna Gaon do so and so. It's different when you see somebody doing it rather than a halacha. If you see Rav Shlomo Zalman Auerbach making a bracha on the blossoming of a tree, and it's one tree, here's a great, that's a real halacha. Now I saw it happening, and now I can pass it. At the end of the day, it's still a question on Rabbah. Rabbah says, I cannot use good and bad, good oil with bad oil, because I might forget the good oil. And yet it says I can use a nut together with a good wick. A bad wick with a good wick. Says the Gemara, my lav lahadlik. The nut, you're trying to have a flame here together with the nut. Loi lahakfos. You're using it as a flotation device. The nut is just a floater. It's not to light. The nice wick is going to be on the nut and it's going to float over the oil. So then, why would somebody argue on that? Says the Gemara, nobody's arguing. You have to explain the brayse as follows. If you try to make a wick out of the good and the bad, don't do so. That's if you're trying to make a wick. If you're trying to use it as a tube, a floating device, that's fine. The proof is, Rabbi Shimon Gamliel's father used the flotation device. You have fat that is melted down. Now I can take the melted fat and use it as oil. The halacha is I cannot use it. That itself by its own I cannot use. But if I do a trick, I could use some olive oil, let's say, kosher oil, any kosher oil, add it to the mix, and now I can use the innards of the fish or melted down fat. The innards of the fish also, they're smushed. Says the Gemara, from here you see I could take bad, that is melted fat, with good olive oil, mix them together, and I can use it as oil. So why does Rabbah tell Abaya that you can't do so? Says the Gemara here, just to make it a little bit more interesting, if you have chaylev by itself, fat by itself, no good. Chaylev that's melted, I just did the word namas because it's less letters. Muhutach means namas, it's melted, no good. If I have chaylev nomes with shemen, good. Okay, why? Says the Gemara, Hani nimshach b'einayu. If you just do the blue, melted fat is good oil. It actually works. No, so why can't I use it? V'hani lo nimshach b'einayu. V'gazu rabbanon ha'chaylev muhutach b'shum chaylev she'enim muhutach. V'al kividagim sheni moichu shum kividagim shelo moichu. The reason why blue is aser is because of red. Yes, chaylev nomes, it's a good oil. It catches beautifully. But people might make a mistake, and they might use regular chaylev. So therefore they said, both are aser. Ask the Gemara, so why is this green? Why do I have a green light on melted fat together with olive oil? Perhaps if I use melted fat with olive oil, I might not use the olive oil. And if I won't use the olive oil, it's already usher. Look, chaylev nomes is already usher. Says the Gemara, yeah, chaylev nomes is also a gzeira that I might use number one. So really, number one is the isser. The second one here, chaylev nomes, should be mutter, but it's only usher because of number one. So I cannot make number three usher, because that's two gzeiras away. I might not put in the shemen, and therefore I'll have chaylev nomes. And why is this usher? Because maybe I'll do chaylev. So if you look at Taisis Yishanim, look over here on top. Let's first see the words inside. I don't want to skip any words, Chaz V'Shalom. So why is there a green light on these three things? This should be usher, green should be usher, because maybe you'll do blue. Says the Gemara, blue is a gzeira. It should be mutter. It's good oil. It works well. I should do two gzeiras. Now let me ask you a question. You should have asked this question. This is also gzeira. Why is melted fat? Why is it usher? Because I might come to use fat. And why is fat usher? Because I might come to move my lamp. Okay, so that's two gzeiras. So let's see the Taisis Yishanim inside. You see the Taisis Yishanim next to Rashi, small little words. It's again two gzeiras. Shema yata. I might come to move the lamp as the second gzeira in line. Says Taisis Yishanim, the efshe shalayata. The fact that I'm going to move the chaylev is not a maybe. It's a given. Tremendous chiddush. You hear what he's saying? When you use a piece of fat, it's inevitable. You are going to mess around with that flame because it's not going to work. If it's not going to work, you are going to start shaking it. So that's not called a gzeira. That's called a given. Now, melted fat, that should work. That's a gzeira. You might forget to melt it and might use a chunk of fat. Now, melted fat with olive oil, that's a gzeira, because I might forget the olive oil and then I might forget to melt it. That's two gzeiras that I'm not worried about. Tani Rami Bar Chama. Psilois ushmonim. Shomru chachamim ein madligim ben b'Shabbos. So they take out the word shmonim because it's a mistake. The Rekiva Yeger says, he brings down, doesn't make any sense, the word shmonim. Came in later on in Venezia. Ein madlikim ben b'mikdash. Because in the Beis HaMikdash there was only one oil. There was shemen zayis. Nothing to do with kosher oils and non-kosher oils. All kosher oils are pasul in the Beis HaMikdash. You can only use olive oil in the Beis HaMikdash. Take out that word ushmanim. Ein madlikim Shabbos. If you can't use it on Shabbos, ein madlikim ben b'mikdash. Why? Shenemar lahalois ner tamid. It says in the pasuk in the Beis HaMikdash by the menorah lahalois. What should it say? Lahadlik. Lahalois means to climb up. It has to climb up by itself. The fire has to work on its own without you intervening and helping it out. Hutani lavu amar lo, he himself, he just said the pasuk and he explains it. Shouldn't have any help. Tanan, question. From the leftover pants that the Kohanim, is pants a bad word in England? I think so, yeah, forget it. But in England, it's supposed to say trousers. Pants is like really bad. But we say pants. And from their belt. Now, what is a belt made out of? A kohen's belt is made out of 75% wool and other materials. It's actually shatnez. It's wool and linen, but 75% wool. Here's the question. We learned yesterday that you don't make a wick out of hair because it's going to scorch, it's going to burn. Remember, I got burnt by a firecracker. And we don't make it from wool. Wool is also no good. Over here it says you could use the belt of the kohen that's made out of wool. And they explain, the Rishonim talk about it. Yes, it has other materials, but it's roiv, it's made out of the wool. How could I do that? Says the Gemara, Simchas Beis Sheva Shani. We're talking about the Simchas Beis Sheva here. It's not a deraisa. You don't have to light a fire. It was for the simcha. We decided on our own to light fires. So you can do it any way you want. Okay. However, the problem is, Toshma, the Tony Rabbi Masno, Big Dekuna Shabalu, the clothing of the Kohanim that are worn out, Mafkin Oisan, you make them in small pieces and you make wicks out of them. You make a wick for the menorah. Right? What better way to make a wick? Instead of going to the factory, you take something that there was a mitzvah done with it, the big day kohanim, and you make a nice wick. Now, it doesn't say anything about Simchas Beis Sheva. We're talking about it in the Beis Hamikdash here, for the menorah. My lab, the klayim, isn't referring to also inferior product of klayim, of wool, loy, the boots. We're talking about the kutainas that's made out of cotton, linen. That's fine. No kashas. And now, Rabbi Isai, up until now, we had, just until the other day, we had the long 4-daf sugya of Tumah. And we all loved it, it was great. Now we're going to have a 2.5 daf sugya of Hanukkah. This is the sugya of Hanukkah in all of Shas, right here. Discusses all the halachas that we're very mostly familiar with them. But here's the makar, if you ever want to go back to Ilchas Hanukkah, right here, Shabbos daf Chof Aleph. Chof Aleph, 20 daf into Masechtas Shabbos, 20. Just yesterday we were at a siyum for brachas, and we're 20 daf into Shabbos. It's like a dream. Omer Avuna, psilois u'shmonim she'amru chachamim ein madlikim ben b'Shabbos. All these wicks and oils that it says in the Mishnah, b'mem madlikin, ein madlikim ben b'Chanukah, ben b'Shabbos, ben b'chol. So we have a 3-way machlokes. Are you permitted to use these wicks and these oils for Hanukkah? And then the Ravuna sticks in on Shabbos of Hanukkah as well. Not just weekday Hanukkah, Shabbos Hanukkah. What's the nafkimina? So we have 2 svaras here. One svara is good for weekdays, one svara is good for Shabbos. Amar Rava. My time of the Ravuna, Kosovar, Kovsa, Zokukla. It's a very simple halacha. When the flame of your menorah goes out, are you obligated to relight it? You hear David Kormluth. Are you obligated to light it? What do we do today? Rabbi said, what do we do? You light the menorah, and you go to sleep. You space out, and you find out that your candle went out 5 minutes later. You have to run and light it back. What do we do? The Olam says no. We don't. Why? Because obviously we don't pass like a Ravuna here. You look over here, because Sava Kafsa Zakukla, there's no little letter next to Kafsa Zakukla. We're going to find that little letter later on by Rav. Kafsa Ein Zakukla. Okay. Ravuna holds, I must relight it. Says Rashi, and I'm concerned that you're going to be a Poishea. You're going to be an Avari. You're not going to relight it. So I tell you right now, you better use oil that's going to last for the entire duration. What's the duration? Half an hour. Let's call it a half hour. I need to make sure, according to Ravuna, I have a half an hour candle that's lit from beginning to end and it doesn't go off. And if it goes off, I'm in trouble. I have to relight it. So make sure it doesn't go off. Make sure you use appropriate oil. Halacha number 2, I have to use the appropriate oil on Shabbos. Why? That halacha is, says Ravuna, do we paskin like this? I don't see a letter next to it, so l'chayr we don't paskin like this. He holds you're allowed to read a book by the Hanukkah Menorah. And therefore on Shabbos I'm going to take my Sefer. What do I do on Friday night? I take my Sfarim, I learn my Torah, I daven for my Siddur. I take it and I put it by my candlelight. Oh, it's weak. So I start tilting it. Shemayata.
Barak says that you always make sure to relight it.
Of course you make sure. Barak's right. We make sure to relight it, but you're not mechuyev to relight it. If you didn't relight it, it's not the end of the world. You're to the mitzvah, Barak. Okay, we miss you, man. You better be here every day. No excuses. He's up with his kids till 4 in the morning. Yishkoyach. So stay up to 5, 6 in the morning. You have to do the daf. There's no excuses. Rabbi said no excuses now. So let me ask you a very simple question that Taisus discusses. Why do I need this whole reason that you're allowed to read a you're allowed to read a book by a candle, and therefore I cannot use this inferior oil on Shabbos? Just say one reason. The reason is kafsa ein zakuk. Kafsa zakuk. I have to relight it, like Barak said, and therefore even on Shabbos I have a problem. I'm going to have to relight it, so I can't relight it la halacha. But I wasn't yaitze. According to Ravuna, I have to light it for half an hour, so I have to get good oil. Why does he stick in that you're allowed to read la'ira? What's the point? Why is one reason not good enough even for Shabbos? Tosfos says, amazing, that because Rav Huna said that you cannot use it for weekdays and Shabbos, that's how I know this other halacha of mutter l'shtamish la'ira. That's exactly how I know the second reason. In other words, if Rav Huna would have just said, you're not allowed to use the oil, and he wouldn't have mentioned Shabbos. Just don't, on Hanukkah, don't use inferior oil and inferior wicks. So I would have said the reason is because kafsa zakuk. But because Rav Huna stuck in the word Shabbos, now I have to think about another reason that's only important for Shabbos. And what's that reason? That reason is mutar l'shtamish la'ira. So now I come up with a chiddush la'alacha based on a diuk in what Rav Huna said. That according to Rav Huna, says Rava, I'm allowed to use its light. Rav Chizda Amar, and now as all three-way machlokes, you have the two extremes. I'm allowed to use it on Shabbos. I cannot use inferior oil not on weekdays and on Shabbos. I could use inferior oil on weekdays and Shabbos, and then you have Rav Chizda in the middle. Yes and no. Rav Chizda Amar madlikim ben b'chol. I could use inferior oil during the weekday. Why? Because he's going to say ein zakuk la. I'm not mechuyev to relight it. Therefore, just light it for a minute. I'm yotzei. Because Savar, sorry, I missed the word. And not on Shabbos. So it's obvious. Since he holds that if I light it, I don't have to relight it. I'm yotzei the mitzvah. Therefore, I'm not concerned what kind of oil he uses. He could use inferior oil and wicks. However, but since I'm allowed to read a book to its light, I have to be careful. Shemayata, and I don't want to be mata. I have to allow him to read a book. So therefore, you better use good oil. How does it always get to 9 minutes? Exactly when we turn the page. What's going on here?
It's a big dot from.
No, we had a late start again. So here goes Rav Shita. Now look, you see there's a tiny little aleph there. The ones that I cannot use for Shabbos, I could use for Hanukkah. Bein b'chol, bein b'Shabbos. Both in the weekday and on Shabbos. You see the little base there? Kafsa ein zakuk. The halacha is, and Tosfos points out that's the halacha, if I light it on the weekday for 1 minute, for 10 seconds, I was yotzei the mitzvah of Hadlakas Ner Chanukah. I did my Persumei Nisa for 10 seconds. And va'asar l'shtamish la'ira, if you see there's a little tiny gimel, it tells me that the halacha is that I'm not allowed to use the candlelight of a menorah. And if I can't use the candlelight of the menorah, I'm not concerned that Shemayata on Shabbos because I can't use it. So there's no Shemayata. Why can't I use it? A number of reasons given in the Rishonim. According to Rashi, it's the hecker for the mitzvah to show this is a mitzvah light, not just a lamp that I have to use. According to the Ran, and it's similar to the menorah in the Beis Hamikdash. Just like the menorah in the Beis Hamikdash I can't use, so to the menorah on Hanukkah. They're not connected, but they are in a way. Zok the Gemara. Amru Rabbana Kamei Abaya, Mishmei de Rabbi Yirmiyah. So the Rabbanon explained to Abaya that this is the Pshat and Rav. Rav holds Kafsa in Zakukla. He holds it's also to use the light. V'loi Kibla. He says it's impossible. Rav said that. So Ravin, when Ravin came from Eretz Yisrael, he delivered the news. He would come over and tell over the Torah from Eretz Yisrael in Bavel. Amru Rabbanon Kamed Abaya. So they said over to Abaya Mishmei the Rabbi Yochanan. They said, "Hey, Ravin brought us a nice piece from Rabbi Yochanan, and since it was Rabbi Yochanan that said it, Vikibla, he accepted that Rav holds Kafsein Zakukula Asur L'Shtam Shloyer." Omar, and then Abaya said, "Izachoi, I feel bad. I should have accepted this years ago when I first heard it." Says the Gemara of Agamra, but at the end of the day, who cares? When he was nifter or now, he accepted it. All is good. Says the Gemara, Nafkemino legirsa de yankusa. There's a concept of girsa de yankusa. When you repeat something over and over when you're young, it sticks in your head. You remember stuff that you learned when you're a little kid in cheder. What?
The Yankusa. Yankasa.
The yankusa. Girsa de yankusa. That's how we said in America. Girsa de yankusa. Girsa de yankusa, says Mordechai Seltzer. Fine. So yeshiva is a thing. Girsa de yankusa. Yankusa. Yankee.
I never heard that.
You never heard it?
No, that's how
Girsa de yankusa. That's how they say it in American yeshivas. Ask the Gemara. The kafsa in zakukula. What are you telling me? Rav is right that if the candle goes out, I don't have to relight it. V'reminu. It says, and this is the halacha also. Mitzvasa mishetishka achama ashetichlol regel men hashuk. The mitzvah of Ner Hanukkah is from Shkia, whatever that means, and that's the going right at Shkia, a little bit after Shkia, whatever it is, from Shkia, until people stop walking around in the marketplace. And the Gemara is going to explain what that means. But the question is, my love, the kafso hadamadikla. What does it say here? It says that the mitzvah is from here to here. Let's call it a half hour, from Shkia till Tichla. But you have to be lit at that point. And if it goes out, you should relight it. My love, the kafso hadamadikla. Loi, the loyadik madik. That if a person comes home from work late, yes, lechatchila, you should light it by Shkia. But if he didn't, he has all the way until Tichla regel mashuk. He has that half hour to be yotzei. Vinami, l'shiyura. Or perhaps it's coming to tell us this year how much oil should a person put in his menorah? A half hour's worth. Now I just want to point out there's a crazy bahag who says that since the mitzvah is, the Ram brings him, since the mitzvah is to light a menorah from Shkia until Tichla regel mashuk, so on Shabbos you should light by Shkia. That's what he says. Wait until Shkia and then you light your menorah. We don't do that. We light before. We're scared.
way before.
Now, if you look in Taisus real quickly, Taisus de Ramaskal, the Eloi Adlik Madlik, all the way at the end, he says, V'leri nira, according to the Ri, the Ata, in our days, ein lachosh mosei Adlik. It's not such a big deal if you light late. Da'anu ein lanu ekera elav nei habayis. Especially us, not me, but a lot of people who light inside their house, it's only for their family. Shari madlikim mibifnim. So therefore, what's the difference? Tichla regel mashuk, and whenever you want to light, you light. That's what Taisus says. Says the Gemara. What does it mean when people stop walking the shuk? These people who sell firewood, so they're always the last guys out of the market, because people need firewood when at night. They only realize at night that they don't have a light, so they run last minute so they're the last guys there. So in Mela, you could still be Mekayim Pirsum Nisa for these people. You have from Shkia until then. Tana Rabbana. Mitzvahs Chanukah, the mitzvah of Ner Chanukah, Ner Ish Ubeisoy. So, we're going to see there's 3 levels of mitzvahs Chanukah, Ner Chanukah. Since Ner Chanukah itself, they explain, is a concept of Mahadrin, we had a flask of oil. We probably could have schlepped it out for 8 days if we wanted to, and we could have used smaller wicks, but we didn't feel like it. We wanted, the Kahana wanted to do a Mahadrin. So therefore, different than other mitzvahs, we have different levels. You could pick and choose, and if you want to be a big tzaddik, you be a big tzaddik. First level is 1 candle, even on the 8th day, 1 candle, and that's it for everybody. 20 people in the family, 1 candle. V'amahadrin, and if you're, according to Rashi, running after mitzvahs, Ner lekol echad ve'echad. One candle for each and every one. I have what to say here, but I'm not going to say because of the time restriction. I'll control myself. It's probably min hashamayim, I'm not saying it. I wanted to speak about Corona and people being mahader in mitzvahs and running to minyanim. V'day lechakim v'remiza, we'll go weiter. Ner lekol echad ve'echad. So we take one candle for each and every person in the family. Even on the seventh day, one candle. But the highest level is, and this is what we try to do, what is it? What?
David Feinberg said we have all the time.
We have all the
We
time.
have all the time in the world, I guess. So
Because, he's saying because Shachris is at 9 o'clock today, so in Mela we have a lot of time. I got it.
9. Work 8:45.
8:45. So this is Beishamai Shita. You start off with the full amount, 8. And you keep on going down. On the second day of Hanukkah, you light 7. On the third day of Hanukkah, you light 6. And the Gemara is going to explain why. This is what we do. We start off with 1 and then we climb. So, we have 3 levels. Level number 1 is 1 candle per family. Level number 2, 1 candle per person in the family. Level number 3, 8. Now, is it per person or the 8 is for the head of the family? So we have a machlokes rishonim here. According to Tosfos, it's 8. Don't mix it up with the first chumrah, the second chumrah, which is 1 per person in the family. No. It's either number 2 or number 3. Number 2 is one candle for each person in the family. That's Mahadrin number 2. But if you want to be Mahadrin, the head of the household, he lights 1, 2, 3, 4, 8. Nobody else lights. Says the Rambam, not true. You can combine level 2 with level 3. Each person should do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So how do we paskin? Points out that Taz an amazing thing. Us Ashkenazim, we go like the Sephardi, like the Rambam. The Shulchan Aruch, the Sephardi goes with the Ashkenazim, with the Tosfos, which is extremely rare, if any, in the entire Shulchan Aruch. Fine. Amar Ula, Pligi Ba Trei Amar Rebbe Marava. What's the pshat in Beis Shammai and Beis Hillel? 2 svaros in both. Rabbi Yossi Bar Avin, Rabbi Yossi Bar Zvida. 2 Rabbi Yossis, different names. One is Rabbi Yossi Bar Oven, one is Rabbi Yossi Bar Zvida. Chalamar time in the Beis Shammai connected Yomim Manichnasim. Beis Shammai say, as many days as you have left to Hanukkah, that's the amount of candles that you light. You have 6 days left, you light 6. You have 5 days left, you go down, you do 5. The time of the Beis Hillel connected Yomim Hayotzim. How many days went by? So you're on the second day of Hanukkah, 2 days went by, you light 2 candles. You're on the third day of Hanukkah, 3 days went by, including today, you light 3 candles. Bechad Omar, different svaros. Time of the Beis Shammai connected Parei Chag. On Sukkot, we start off with 13 cows on the first day of Sukkot. We shecht, and then we go down to 12, 11, 10. So too on Hanukkah, for whatever reason, the connection, I'm sure there's a Pachad Yitzchak on it or something in Maral. You go from 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time in the Beis Hillel, the Malim Ba Kodesh Ve'Meridin. We have a concept in Shas, and it's brought down in a pasuk we learned in Menachos. You go up. When it comes to Kedusha, you always go up. So if until now we were learning 1 hour a day, now that we have Corona, we learn 2 hours. You keep on going up and up and up and up. You don't go down, Rabbi. You don't go half hour instead of an hour. No. The time in the Beis Hillel, the Malam HaKodesh V'Meridin. Or Rabbi Chanan, Rabbi Yochanan, Shnei Zekenim oy b'Tzaydon. In fact, there were 2 Zekenim in Tzaydon. Echad asik Beis Shammai, v'echad asik Beis Hillel. Kedei Rabbi Hillel. Zeh noisen tam l'dvarov keneged Parei Chag. It's unbelievable. The Chavetz Chaim points out, how could this Talmid Chacham do like Beis Shammai? We paskin everything like Beis Hillel. So this is very important because the Chavetz Chaim says in the Bir Halacha that when it comes to Mahadrin, then we don't go like Beis Hillel. You don't have to go like Beis Hillel. Beis Hillel is in all of Shas, in all of the Torah. But now when it comes to Hilchos Mahadrin, he goes like Beis Shammai, he goes downwards, 8, 7, 6. The Malam HaKodesh You go upwards. Ner Hanukkah mitzvah lanicha al Pesach beisim b'chutz. Says Rashi that it's referring to a chutzner. He has a door to his house. Then he has the green, that's the chutzner. Then he has Rosh Hashanah, this is Rosh Hashanah. Where should he light, according to Rashi, not Tosfos? He lights over here by the doorway to his house, but outside of his house, but inside of his chutzner. For the people that come into the chutzner. Here's the second floor for the next Gemara. If somebody lives on the second floor, he lights by the window closest to the Rosh Hashanah. Ner Chanukah mitzvah lanicha Pesach beisom mibachutz. That's what we said. He puts it by the window facing the Rosh Hashanah. If the goyim are going to kill you because you light candles, it's against their religion. You're yoy to the mitzvah if you light it in your house. Don't just say, "Oh, it's a sakon, I'm not lighting at all." You light in your house. Yeah. Omar Rava, not now. We don't have time. Provided, says Rava, you need to make a hecker. You need to show people, this is my Hanukkah light, and this is what I'm using to fry my schnitzel. So I need a special light. V'ika medura loitzarach, and if he has a very large light, like us, we have a medura. I don't know what to call it. It's like 1,000 times a medura. We have 100 watts and a tiny candle. Everybody knows that your little candle is for Hanukkah. But if you're an important person that doesn't use a medura ever, so now people are going to think that this Adam Chashav is using a small candle. My Hanukkah. This is very simple Gemara. Does anybody remember who wrote Megillas Tainus? We just had it a few daf ago. Megillas Tainus. Who wrote it? Yeah, I know you all know it. I just can't hear you. It's the Hananya ben Chizkiah. Remember? The one from the... What's going on, Rabbi Yisrael Halpern? What's going on over there? Does anybody see Rabbi Halpern? Am I the only one that noticed? I think his screen froze. I'm not sure, but I think it froze. Here. Israel Halpern. This is a big no-no. You see? This is not good, this whole Zoom thing. We had our first guy fall asleep in the chair. Ever. Maybe he has to unmute it. He doesn't even hear me. All right. Over there, the second from the top corner. Second top corner, right over there. You're not looking on your side. Zog the Gemara. So anyways, the one that they made the halachas like Beis Shammai that night, the 18 halachas, where was it? It was in Hananiah's attic, and he made the Hilchas Tainus, the Megillas Tainus. And in this Megillas Tainus it says, the 25th day of Kislev, Yom Chanukah Tam Yoinun. There's 8 days of Chanukah, the Misbit Behoin, Uda Loylis Hanis Behoin. You don't make a hesped by Elavaya, and you don't fast. Why? Because the Yivanim came into the Beis Hamikdash. Timu Kol Hashmanim. They made all the oil Tomei. And when the Chashmonaim beat them, they only found one flask. It had the whole seal. Big Shaila, if the guy moved it, it's Tomei Behesis. And it only had one day. There's an ace, the famous Beis Yosef. My favorite teretz is that even on the first day there was a big nace because only a small amount of oil went down. That itself was a nace. So therefore, every year after that, the year following, became a yontif. Should we stop right here, Rabbi Isai? Joey's on. I missed you, Joey. Joey. No, is that Joey? It is Joey. I thought for a second it's Joey's nephew. He looks like a 20-year-old over there. It is Joey. Shalom Aleichem, Joey. All right, so Rabbi Isai, Motzei Shabbos, 9 o'clock, Bezer Hashem. And we should daven for Refuah Shleima, for Don Segal, and all the Chashuva people, the Rav in Manchester, the Rav in the Five Towns, and all the other Chashuva Yidden that are in the hospital. We should take care of ourselves, we should take care of our families. Shira malo ismi mamaki kvasicho Adonai Adonai shemo b'koili tieno znecho kashuvo islikoi dachanunoi Im avoynois tishmor yo adoynoi mi amoid ki im chas licho leman tivorei ki visi adoynoi kivso nafshi v'ledvoro yocholti nafshi ladoynoi mishomrim laboiker shomrim laboiker יחל ישראל אל אדינוי, כי מדינוי החסד והרבה עמו יפדוס. והוא יפדס ישראל מכל עוונותיו. אחינו כל בית ישראל הנשונים בצור ושביו העומדים בין ביום ובין ביבש עמוק ירחם עליהם. ויציאם מצור ומבוכו, מאפל לא יראו, ומשיבו לגאולו, השתו בגלו בזמן קריב, ונאמר אמן. What are you timing? So 9 o'clock is too late? No, you have Ma'ariv and everything. 9 o'clock, what's the Shabbos, Rabbi Isai? We're not going anywhere anyways. Have a great Shabbos. Yes, Yoel. I mentioned your name, Yoel Bergman from Chicago.
I sent you an email.
You sent me an email. Okay.
Yes.
I didn't get it yet, Yoel. I'm gonna look for it. Yosef Biliak, you better send me Yoel Bergman's email. I want to read it. Whose birthday is it? David Dress. From Staten Island. We have a number of people. We have 3 people at least from Staten Island. Is it your fault? It's actually what? It's not your birthday?
Yesterday's birthday.
Oh, yesterday. Yesterday. It's like a daf. Yesterday's daf doesn't count. Yesterday's birthday. Sorry, Dov, we missed your birthday, but it's too late. We're gonna have to wait until next year. What's going on, Rabbi Isai? How are we doing? How are we holding up? It was very sad for me. Rabdan Segal. I'm very, I feel very close to him. I haven't seen him in a while, but I'm very. He came to me in bar mitzvah. He gave me a k'tzais hachosh. He came to my wedding. He flew in for my wedding, and he demanded that we buy him a new mattress, which we did because al pi Kabbalah he won't sleep on some mattress that some other person in the hotel slept on. So we bought him a new mattress. We delivered it to the hotel wherever he was. Unbelievable chassid, the tzaddik. He should have a refuah shleima b'karev. And then what? Good Shabbos, Rabbi Isai. Good Shabbos.
9 o'clock.
Everybody be there, be square. Akiva Solway, how are you doing?
Leave your Zoom on before Shabbos, they can watch.
Bernard David from Manchester. Waxman. I have a picture of you. Somebody sent me. We're going to read it maybe a different time. Here's a picture of you, Rabbi Waxman.
Everyone is doing
Ellie, you don't leave his computer on?
We don't have to. There's going to be a share Motzei Shabbos. We'll be exactly where we need to be.
No, for America.
Somebody find the shidduch for David Kornbluth, quick. Rabbi Isai, quick.
What time and what's the Shabbos, Eli?
9 o'clock Israel time.
Okay.
You say 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock?